Okay, so this is a fuse box. I've already got a 5-volt here, and this is the new one that I'm installing for the screen. So that's that end, and I'm going to use where I previously had the earth for the neutral for the other cable here, which is going to this bolt here. So that one works, so I'm just going to wedge it under there too. And then I've routed this up through this cable that is currently hanging out here, but I'm just going to push it behind here. And took the vents out at the top. And there's videos about this, but basically you have to wedge a knife as it sits like this. You have to wedge the knife under here to get the fronts out, the bottom out first. And once the bottom's pushed out, then you do the top. The cable's going to route up the top of here, the screen will sit here, and you won't see the cable because the screen will slightly block the top part of the vent, and it'll be wedged right here. So that's that. So next, this cable, then I sort of fed the end of the USB cable down the back here. All this cable, most of it, only a tiny bit, really coming out the top of here. So it'll sit like that. So all this will be hidden under here. There's a fair bit of space. You can either put it to the side and the right, or the left. There's quite a bit of space down here. And then, yeah, so I fed that through. Just pop this bit of bezel out, which is here. It's quite easy to pop out. Just need a, just trim tools, pop it out, easy. Put that down here. So now I just need to plug it in and then check it works. So I have a T20 Torx screwdriver, and now I just need to take this out, wedge that under there. Not much space. To wedge it under the washer. So now I have both of my fuse tap negatives on that bolt. It seems pretty secure. I'm just going to test it works before I start cable tying stuff up. See, I've just got some earphone charger here, and it's plugged in, so it's working. So but this means it is constantly live, it's not ignition live. So I might have to change the fuse I was using. So I was using number 84 here, which is actually the passenger power seat, but I thought maybe that would be ignition live, but it looks like it's permanent live, so I might find another fuse. So after some playing with which fuse to use, I tried the sunroof, because this car doesn't have a sunroof, thinking that would be safe, but it looks like that's powered on even when the ignition's off. Then after that didn't work, I went for the seat heating passenger side. I'm basically trying to find something that isn't critical in case the wire causes some kind of problem with the fuse that I'm using, just in case. And this appears to work, so now I can test. So this is charging and the heating is still working for the passenger seat, and there's the fuse connected on the fuse tab. And if I turn the car off, ignition's still on, so this is still charging. Take it out and it goes off. So that's an ignition live fuse. Next job is to put the fuse box back up and tighten it up. I've just done one cable tie here. You need a bit of slack here because the fuse box drops down, so you don't want this really taut, because there is movement when you take this out, especially when you want to change the cabin pollen filter, which is behind all this crap. So you normally have to pull the whole fuse block out to make it easier for yourself, disconnect everything. then really there's not too much more cable tying to do, because it just runs up through here and comes up over here. So I have just neatened this up a little bit. This is the converter box converting 12 volts to 5 volts for the screen. Stuff that down there, plenty of room. And then I'm going to have this run up over here and just pop out probably a little bit of cable like this. Put the fuse box back up. It's a bit of a pain, it's a bit fiddly getting it onto the hooks at the back. Then we just need to put the carpet trim up here. You line that up with the holes. There's one. Push the pop pin in. And the other side. Line it up. Push pop pin in. That's pretty much, that's it. That's it for the fuse box. And reattach this bit of trim behind the console. So this is normally pretty easy. Kind of hard with one hand, you just sort of slot it in, push it in, push it the other side. That's all there. Okay, so this cable is now tucked, the red line before the adapter box is now tucked behind there. Got it going across the bottom, and then the rest of it sort of cable tied up, stashed behind here. And this cable's going to sit roughly in the middle, coming out from behind, so you won't see it at the top. I've sort of roughly put this back in. I have the hazard switch light plugged back in. The cable is sort of routed under these vents and then through the middle, so it's going to come out here. So now if we just try and push this back in, might have to, yeah, just make sure it's clear of my stash of cable. Push it back in. So that's now popping out the top. You're not going to see that because that'll be hidden by the screen. Just need to make sure it's all pushed down and we're good to go. I'm quite happy with how it sat there, so I actually pulled it back out again just to pop it back in, and now it's flush and there's no gap here. A wee bit there, but don't know, it might have just been where I was prying on it, but yeah. So now we just have this cable sticking out. We'll just test it works. So I've got my little earphone charger again. As you can see here, there's no light, it's not working. And if I just put the ignition on, and there you go, it's on. So that'll be pretty neat once we get the screen. All we have to do is stick it down, plug it in. So this is the 3D printed bracket. Someone on the Volvo forums kindly designed this, and you can sort of see, so I think it's going to go about here. And you can sort of see it contours to the shape of the dash, and that'll be stuck down with like 3M double-sided strong tape stuff. So I assume what the wire will then do is sort of wrap round so you don't see it hidden behind the screen, and then plug up behind it. And then the screen will sort of be a little bit proud like here, so you shouldn't see any wire once it's done. So now I have the unit, and I've just used one of the sticky pads that came with the unit to go on the bottom of the base, the 3D printed base. And what this is going to do is going to sit roughly here, get it nicely centered between the vents, and this cable will go around the back and plug in here. I might get an adapter for a right angle adapter to better hide it, to put on the end of this USB-C, but for now this will do. Okay, so that's the install now complete. It's pretty well centered. The wire's pretty hidden. I think, as I say, I think that could be a wee bit better with a right angle connector. which I might get an adapter for, but now start the car. Got the Volvo logo coming up. And then we're in. A few seconds, I think Android Auto should start up. Tap it, see what's going on. Yep. So there, it's got the time from the phone, it's got the battery from the phone, and there we are. All works.